Hello, welcome to Click with Jewish Family and Children Services of Greater Philadelphia. My name is Debora King and I am the art therapist and art studio manager at JFCS. It's a pleasure to be here today and to share this activity that you could do at your home with your family members or individually. First, I'd like to let you know that you don't need any artistic skills to participate in today's activity, and also please be sure to know that this is not an art therapy session. Today's activity is called Creating a Still Life and Mindfulness. So what I mean by that is what we're going to first do is we're going to select 2 to 3 objects that are meaningful to you around your house. So first I would invite you to take a walk around your house, a nice slow walk, and take a look at areas that maybe you haven't looked at in a long time, or maybe an object that you right away know is very meaningful for you, and select them. You could also instruct your family members to do the same thing, to choose 1 or 2 objects that are meaningful to them, and then bring them together in a still life and create a still life with those objects. Okay, once you have made your selection and you have placed all of your items down, if you are doing this with your family, make sure you communicate with one another about which item goes where, or do you all agree that all the items selected should be part of your still life. This is a good way to engage in conversation with each other and to also to talk about something different that normally you wouldn't be talking about. So here we are. Here is my still life that I created. So I have a hand painted object. It's made out of ceramic and it's a candle holder. I also attached a watch to it. And then I just happened to find 2 candles that I really like in my house as well, and I placed them down on this table pedestal. So this is my still life, and this is what I'm going to be drawing today. So before we start our still life, the one thing that I want you to do is to practice letting go. Letting go of expectations of what the drawing has to look like, and really engage your sense of sight in a mindful and meditative way during this process. One way to achieve this is to just observe. Take some time to observe the still life for what it is, the different shapes that you see, the different textures, and name them. For instance, right here I see a triangular shape, a rectangular shape, and more tiny little rectangular shapes inside. Then with the candles, I see round shape right here, and then another round organic shape with this candle. Moving along, the clock is also round, but a totally different texture than the wax of the candles, and a totally different texture than the ceramics right here. It is made out of glass and metal. So I'm just going to name all the different things and even look a little bit more intently at all the details, all the little shadows and subtleties in it. When I take all of that in, you could go ahead and start drawing. If you are doing this as a family activity, you could ask each family member to share what they see. So some people might notice things that you didn't notice, like for instance, right here, there's a little string attached to this candle. So I didn't actually describe that, but another family member might be drawn to talk about the string. So that's just interesting conversation that could come out of this. Drawing the still life with mindfulness. For this activity, all you need is plain white paper and markers if you have them, or you could use pencil, you could use watercolors, any other art supplies that you have around the house. First, I'm going to start by just identifying the different shapes that I mentioned. So I will start with this triangular shape, move on to the rectangular shape, and I will just continue adding lines until I feel like the initial sketch includes all the different elements of this piece. Just like that, just creating shapes. The next step will be to add color to your still life drawing. So you could go ahead and try your best to match the colors with the materials that you have. So you could add some green in this general area for the ceramic house. Paying attention to all the little details, the little tiny windows as well. Then you could also look at the whole picture. Stand back from your picture and see, okay, let me add some more color over here with this flower, the flower candle. And even making scribbles to fill the space in, to create energy in your picture. That is also acceptable, and it brings you to the present time of how you may be feeling. Okay, and the very last step is to look at your whole picture and take a look at the background and see if there's anything in the background or the surface in which the still life is that you want to add. So you could add some shadows under here. You could add the pattern that you see on the tablecloth. You could also add details with the background. And once you feel like your drawing is complete, this is the time where you could go ahead and sit back and relax, take a look at what you've accomplished, and reflect on how that experience of drawing a still life was. Drawing still lifes really push people to be in the here and now, to be present with all their senses, including the sense of touch, sense of sight, sense of sound, and also the emotional component of it. What do these objects mean to you? How do they relate to your life? Or what kind of story can you generate from this picture as a whole? This is a great way to have deeper conversations with family members based on the items that they chose in their still life and what the process of drawing the still life was like for them. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Debora King at JFCS, and it was my pleasure to bring this activity to your home. Thank you.